We're almost there.
Yay!
Today's easy. Today's day 25. It's a mobility day. Mobility day. Mobility day. I'm Shane.
I'm Alice.
And today, we've done all these exercises before. I was going to throw a whole load of new mobility exercises, but I thought I'll do a mix and match of the two classes that we've already done so that everybody's super familiar with them and we can kind of fly through them. It'll be easy and we'll get good at them. So everything's a minute with a 30-second recovery. Like always on mobility day, if you want to use that time, that rest time, because it's not a crazy intense class, if you want to use it to continue what we are doing or practice the next thing, the timer's just there as a guide today to keep us honest. But everything's about a minute with 30 seconds recovery. All right, so your first one is like a little walkout. So it'll look like this, like almost like a little bear position. So instead of doing a walkout like everyone's used to in a plank, you come into like a little bear position. And then you walk all the way out, and then you walk all the way back in to that kind of like, if you can, get to here where your heels are down and your feet are nice and wide, and then you just walk all the way out, and then your knees bend to get you back in. So you come back into this like low position. You shouldn't have any real tension on that. If you don't want to get all the way back in there, that's fine. Walk out and just come back in to that bear position, push your heels towards the ground, kind of elbows to knees, whatever feels most comfortable, depends on your flexibility and your mobility, up to you. Got a minute on it, your choice, whatever you want to do. We go in 3, in 2, in 1, little walkout, clock's on, let's go. What's Alice going for? She's going out and then she goes back into a little seated position, yeah, so you can get your hands free of it, yeah, easy, perfect. All the way back in here. If you're super mobile in your hips, you'll be able to get back and you could sit here kind of all day. If this feels like there's got lots of tension, don't stay there that long and then walk all the way back out. But in time, if you keep doing this, I could sit here all day long. I don't feel any tension. This isn't on my quads. It's not on anything. I feel nice and relaxed. So I got decent hip mobility to get me into this position. And I could stay here all day long. If you can't get there, don't worry. Just practice. We'll get there. The more we do it, the better we will get. Got about 10 seconds with this. Easy. Easy, 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 easy. Last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Chill. If you want to keep going with that whilst you do it, do it. We're going to go into this little high lunge rotation that we've done. So you're going to take a knee. We've done this before. Hands come right up into the middle and then you turn them until you feel the tension on this side. And then when you feel like it, you'll just take it up into that lunge. You'll hold it there. Not much tension here. Hands stay in the middle. You come back down, you rest, and you go again. We're going in 5 seconds. If you want to start already, that's on you. Your minute starts right about now. Get centered. Rotate. Feel it just on that side. And when you do, just step up. And if this is only for a couple of seconds, it doesn't matter. Because you're not trying to hold that for muscular reason, because that's the thing. It's two different things. There's flexibility and there's mobility. Flexibility is all got to do with your muscles, right? That's what flexibility means. Mobility means looking after your hips, your knees, your joints. So that's what we're focusing on today. We're not really focusing on lengthening and all that sort of stuff. We're looking after our joints to make sure that they're in a good place. There we go. And one does the other. Mobility, flexibility, you're kind of they're brother and sister, really. Come in, come out. You got about 10 seconds. If you want to take a break, your last 10 seconds starts right now. I'm going to hold it all the way through. I can breathe nice and easy. I'm not under loads of tension. I can feel it back here a little bit. You got 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Shake it out. You're going to switch legs and do exactly the same thing. Everything's down today. The intensity is down. The energy, everything is down today. Today is about fixing what's wrong, getting ready to prepare to do things properly. And when I start doing this is all I do. And if that's all you can do, that's fine. If you can't get off that floor with your back knee, this is good enough. It's fine. We're going 3, we're going 2, we're going 1. There we go. And then you bring your joints into it by stepping off that floor. You only have to stay for a couple of seconds. If that's it, if that's all you're able to do, that's fine. It's totally fine. In fact, it's brilliant. If you can get off the floor at all, it's brilliant. Come back in, get set, rotate, keep your hands in the middle of your chest, and then step up into it, and hold, and then back, and all the way back in. Shake everything off, reset, got about 30 seconds. I'll definitely get 2 more of these in. I step up, I stay low, my hands stay in the middle of my chest. I'm going to hold it for like 3, and then I'm going to drop, I'm going to settle, I'm going to shake it out, and then I'm going to come back in for the last 10 seconds. 10 seconds, we're in. I'm going to lift, I'm going to hold. I'm not going anywhere. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, come back to center. I shake it out. Down dog to up dog. This one gets a little bit complicated. Remember this one. Down dog. Fold onto your forearms. Ooh, chest comes all the way to the floor. Chest goes up, back down, bum in the air. I've run out of space. Did you get the drift? There. That's what we're doing. Easy. Push back. We're in. I'm taking the door out of it behind me, but you get the drift. That's where we go. Take your time with this. There's no rush. You're only going to get a couple of good ones in. Then lift your chest. No, Alice, lift your chest at the bottom. Lift your chest. Fold back down. Push your bum in the air. And this bit's optional at the end. If you can extend, you can extend. And if you can't, you can't. Don't worry about it. But keep those elbows in all the way through. Nice. Elbows stay narrow. Push back. And that's the difficult bit. So if you can't get all the way up, just lifting that bum in the air is fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Because remember, today is about trying to get better. It's not about doing a number of reps and sweating it out and I did more and I got 500 calories on my Apple Watch and all that sort of stuff. Today is to enable us to be able to do those other things in the future much, 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 much better. That's what today is about. You got 5. You got 4. If you want to keep going with it, you found a flow, that's on you. Everybody else can take a little rest. Next one is a Superman. Alice, give us a look at what a Superman looks like. 2 versions. One where your feet stay on the floor. Get as long as you can. You lift your upper body. Take a breath and then blow as you lift. And then Alice showed them the advanced version. Feet come off the floor. Take that little pause right at the top. Perfect. That's where we're going in 5 seconds. If you've already found it there and you're enjoying it, crack on. You do you. Your minute starts now. Let's go. Little Superman. Do you have space for 2 people to do Supermans?
Give it a go.
Let's see. If I've gone off screen, I'll be back. Right there. I breathe in and then I blow. Breathe in. Blow. I'm trying to take that little pause right at the top. Trying to get that little pause. And you should start to feel it right in around here. Yeah? Somewhere there, around that small of your back, that's where you're going to feel this exercise. That's where it's going to feel. And that's on you. It's fine. If you can't get that much off the floor, don't worry. That's what we're doing today. We're trying to see what our limit is. What's our mobility like? And then the more we do it, the better we'll get at it. 10 seconds. Come on. Big breath. Blow it away. She lifts. It's easy. Got 3, 2, 1. Rest. Bear position to down dog. We've done this. We've done all the exercises before. Bear position. Bear position is this, right? You're like a bear. Everything's at 90 degrees. You lift up. And from there, all you're going to do is push back into down dog. Now, if you're not that flexible versus mobility, mobile, flexible. If you're not that flexible and you can only get to there and your knees are bent, that's fine. Every time you come back in, try to go a little bit further. Try to go a little bit further so that eventually you get into that position where you're fully extended all the way up. We're in already. The clock's already started. I'm behind. I messed it up. But it doesn't matter. Bear position. And when you come back in, if you notice, Alice's elbows are going to come on top of her wrist and her shoulders are going to come on top of her elbows. Pretty close. Pretty close. And then her head goes all the way in and then comes all the way up. So your head follows your spine. If you look at that line from Alice's hip right through her head, it never actually changes. It stays in exactly the same position. The only thing that happens is that she's bending and extending those legs, and that manipulates everything else. 15 seconds left. Come on. 15 seconds left. And we've done all these before, so we should be kind of familiar. If you've been on the program, if you've been doing it and you've gotten all the way to here, you should have it by now. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And then natural squat to forward fold. I love this one. The natural squat is this position. Feet kind of wide, toes point out a little, and you're able to sit all the way into it. Hands go to the floor. From there, all you do is try to straighten your legs and keep your hands connected. If you can only get to here and you have to lean a little bit forwards to get there, that's fine. Do that and then push back into your toes. Natural squat to forward fold. Minute's on, let's go. Minute is on, let's go. If you're not that flexible and you're not that mobile in your hips, you may not be able to get into that natural squat position. If you can't, do as best you can. Get your bum down as low as you can and then straighten. And then come off the floor. Even if your hands have to come off the floor, just do this. And then go all the way back down. If you don't even have that, just go into like any sort of squat position and then try and straighten to as low as you can. This might be your mobility. This might be all you can do. You may only be able to get this deep. And you may only be able to get this deep. That's fine. Just try and keep going so that eventually you'll be able to sit all the way into it and then extend all of the way out of it. Take your time. No stress. Got 5, got 4, got 3, 2, 1. My favorite one. The rock and squat. So you're going to lie down. Try not to mess it up.
Not myself.
You rock backwards. Feet go wide. Use your hands if you need to. So show them how it looks like if you have to use your hands. Roll back, legs in the air. Use your hands. Push yourself up. Stay in a squat position. Rock back. The rock back is super important. If you can do it with no hands, do it with no hands. We're on in 3, in 2. And when people call it the baby, all that sort of stuff where you kind of rock into it, that's where we go. Stay in that squat. Lift that bum just a little bit more. Yeah, just there. Into a squat position. Some people fall. She's shaking the whole house. Some people will come into it and that happens. You lose it, especially when you're on camera. Yeah, you're under pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. Some people come into a natural squat position. Some people come into a squat position. Whatever you feel like. Just make sure those feet get wide. Feet get wide. There we go. Nice and easy. 25 seconds. 25 seconds. Really aggressively use your hands to give you a support to push yourself off the floor. Alice, do a couple with the hands just so people see. So she gets there and then she really pushes off into that squat position. That's fine. I'm actually encouraging you to do it, to get used to it so you get confident. You're coming on your last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Rest it. We start everything again. We do it all the way through and then we're done and then we're on the home straight. I'm going to go into that natural squat position and then I'm just going to let my hands walk all the way out and then my knees stay low and I walk it all the way back in and I can stay there all day if I want. 10 seconds, we're in this. Easy work. Easy work. Going 5. If you're in it already, you're in it. Go 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We'll do out and in. When Alice goes in, I'll go out so you can see both versions of it. So Alice isn't quite getting her heels down to the ground. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. And her bum is in. So Alice is going into like a squat kind of pulse kind of thing with her chest forwards. My chest is super high. So it's just a little bit better mobility and confidence really because I've done it more. Alice will be able to do this in a couple of weeks, just getting confident with it. Easy. Walk out. Walk all the way back in. Come on, Alice, I'm waiting on you. 20 seconds.
I thought it wasn't about speed.
It's not about speed. But you'll know I'm just a little more mobile than Alice, so I'm able to talk and stuff. And Alice is feeling this a little bit more than me. And that's because she's relying a lot more on her muscles than her joints. All of this is in my joints, so I can hold it all day long. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Took the television out of it. High lunge rotation. And you'll notice that the more difficult this is, the more you're relying on your muscles. And the easier it is, just over time you'll learn all the positions, the more you're relying on your joints. That's the difference between mobility and flexibility. There's your lesson. There's your lesson for the day. High lunge rotation. Take it to the center. Rotate. Stay there as long as you want. And then when you feel confident, you got a minute, lift it off the floor. And like, maybe it's a 5-second count. That's enough. Come back down. Come to center. Shake it off. Go again. Look at my process as well. Every time I go from here, up, rotate, I'm set. Then I lift. Let's say I count for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now watch what I do. I come into center, I drop, and then I go again. And I reset, and I go again properly every single time. Set, rotate. When I'm ready, when I feel like I'm balanced, I lift. And when I feel like I'm fully rotated, I'll hold it for 5 or 6 seconds, and then I'll drop, come back into center, go again. 10 seconds, I have time for one more. I'm up. Now we're on 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop, come back to center, shake it out, go in and go again. If you are really struggling with this, some of you might be, that just means you're relying on your muscles more than you're relying on your joints. We'll get there. It's just practice, repetition, easy. Switching legs. Which side did I do? Did I do right leg? I think I did. Yeah. All right. Starting again. A center. I'm going to rotate. When I need to, I'll come back in. Your minute's on. Let's go. Up. Hold. Rotate. As far as I feel comfortable. Then I lift. Hold 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Whatever you feel. Drop, come back to center, come and go again. Shake it off. Set, rotate. I've gone a little bit further this time. Then I lift. I'll hold it for 3, for 2. I drop, come back to center. I'll have time for 2 more of these easily. I shake it off. Set, rotate. Always trying to get a little bit further. I'll lift for a few seconds, I'll hold it, come back down, I'll come back to center. I got about 12 seconds, I'll get one more in. Set, rotate, really rotated now. Now I lift, and this one's a little more difficult. For 3, for 2, for 1. Come back to center. Down dog to up dog. Alice, let's get straight into it because this one's more complicated. So people can start early, get into it when you feel comfortable. Down dog. Forearms, chest folds forward, just let it kind of collapse. Lift up, back down. Now, I'm going to challenge Alice because I'm going to lock her forearms to the floor as she does this. Lock forearms to the floor, go. Oh, yeah, you were going into down. Oh yeah, fair enough, from here. Down. Now the forearms stay there. They can't move. Yeah. Now they can't move, they can't lift. There we go, lift up, 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 no, up further. Up, yeah. Back down. Don't adjust, bum in the air. Now you're working it. Now you're working it. Forearms hit the floor, they stay there, don't let them lift. Chest down. Push off, you feel it in your triceps a lot more. Back down, bum up without lifting them. Yes, Alice! Because you start to cheat a little bit and you lift your elbows so you can push off through your hands. I want those forearms to stay on the floor, and you'll really notice it on that lift because your triceps go, what's happening? Come on. And what you're doing is making your joints work, the levers work, instead of the muscles and the hands and the force. You got 5, you got 4, you got 3, 2, 1. Take a breather. Supermans. We're almost there, Alice. You all right?
Oh, yeah.
Different that time, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot different. Forcing the levers to work. Your elbows, shoulders. Right, Superman, show us what it looks like. Only space for one of us on this, so. What a shame.
What a shame.
Arms out, legs out. You lift your body if that's all you can do. And then if you can, take a breath. Lift feet and your upper body at the same time. Take that pause, Alice. Your minute is starting. We're on it. Let's go. Lift it. Lower it. Breathe in, blow it away. Breathe in, blow it away. So you give yourself some space to be able to compress everything. No mad panic. And then some people, when they get really advanced, they'll lift, take a breath in and a breath out. The top can be short, and then they start the whole process again. So you can breathe out, stay up there, breathe in, breathe out, and then start again. So you take your time. Yesterday was like nut job. It was a crazy, mental, no break, 200 mile an hour class. This is kind of the reward, but it's also the fix. It allows our body a chance to just recover so that we can go, because we don't have many days left on this. We're going to kill this thing. What's there, like 5 or 6 days left after this, whatever it is. Your minute's up. Bear to down dog. Get yourself into bear position. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. 90 degrees in your knees. 90 degrees in your hips. Push your bum back in the air. Perfect. It's perfect. Head stays directly in line with the spine. We're going in 10 seconds. Alice is just going to do it, because why wouldn't she? She's going to stay right there. I'm going to join in. Minute starts right about now. Take your time. And look at me. Knees are bent. If that's your level of mobility and your level of flexibility, that's fine. Come back in. Get a little bit further. Come back in. Get a little bit further. Come back in. And then right at the end, if you can, try to really push. Try to really push those heels down to the ground. Come back to that neutral position, chest over your hands. Push back. Lift. Head in between your shoulder blades. Bear position. Nice and easy. 20 seconds left. We've got this. You all right, Alice?
Yeah.
It's a bit nicer than yesterday.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And when I say yesterday, I mean an hour and a half when we filmed yesterday. Trade secrets. Got 7. Got 6. Last 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Rest. My favourite one. Definitely my favourite one. Well, maybe, how many times do I call exercise? Everything's my favourite exercise.
Love it. Yeah. Love exercise.
Natural squat, or as close to it as you can. Into a forward fold. Get your feet nice and wide. Sit deep in. Hands to the floor. If you can keep them there, all the way up in the air. That's easy. Natural squat to forward fold. We're in it. Let's go. And like I said, remember, if this is your squat, look how tall I am. I'm not bent over. I'm tall. I sit. If that's where you can get to, great. Go there. Let your arms hang, and then straighten, and then come back, and then straighten, and then if you can, you just sit into it like that, easy peasy, and step all the way back out. You should really feel it all the way down behind your calves, the backs of your knees, your hamstrings, all of that stuff. Boom, easy. Easy. How's Alice getting on this round? How's she getting on this round? Yeah, okay, so she's gone wide with her feet, but then her knees are kind of pointing in a little bit, which is not what we want. You want the knees out. Now she's gone so wide that she can't get into position. Doesn't matter. You got 3 seconds left. It's just about practicing. Take a little breather if you want. Keep going. As you keep going, because what she's trying to do is practice and figure out how she can get into that position. That's fine. 20 seconds, we're into that little baby rocking squat. It's the last thing we have for the last minute, or whatever it is. Yeah, minute. That's where we go. So that rock and squat, Alice, get ready. Ooh. 10 seconds. Roll back. Back in. Roll back. Back in. In 5. In 4. In 3. In 2. In 1. Let's go. Use your hands so they can see. Use your hands so they can see. So really push off. Use your hands. Push off the floor. Give yourself that support to get off the floor and land in that squat position. Don't stand tall, Alice. Remember, she's forgotten because you're getting tired. There we go. There we go. There we go. And what you kind of don't realize with this is that this is helping you to find that natural squat position. It's helping you. Go on. You're feeling this. And Alice is still using her muscles a lot. Still using her muscles a lot, not her joints. So her muscles are taking, that's why she's blowing a little bit heavy and she's feeling it and her legs are getting a little achy and she's like, why am I doing this? Because it's meant to be mobility day. It's all just training. We'll do this, and in a couple of weeks, this will be it done. Last 10 seconds. This is it. We don't have anything else. This is how easy it was today. How nice was today. You got 3. You got 2. You got 1. Rest. I'm going to go back on one thing, because I didn't really get to finish it off. So I'm going to go back on one thing. Alice was getting, like, to get into that natural squat, she was getting wider and wider and wider. And then she, like, had to do that to stay balanced. Don't, man. Just get used to coming down here. So just get down here. Touch your fingertips. Stay with your back all the way back, and all you want to do is get to this position, this position, this position. Or you can start from the floor and put your hands behind and just kind of like rest there. Just kind of rest there, and that gets you into being tall. Looking at, and then all you have to do is bring your hands forward and you can stay there all day. But anyway, that was extra. That was like behind the scenes nonsense. We're back tomorrow with a full body class again, and we're back now right until the end. We got some good classes from now until the finish. We're in the last week. We're deep in the last week. We're going to get a little stretch out after that, but not much, because that's kind of all of what it is in itself. We'll see in a minute. We don't need to stretch much, but we will. We'll do a little bit of stretching. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Now here's where I want you to go. Take your right foot, fold it over your left knee, and then just let it like fall. Don't do anything. Don't press it. Just lay there and let that happen. I'll kind of turn sideways so you can see. I'm not doing anything, but all I'm doing is allowing this knee just to take its own weight and go to the floor. What it's doing is just opening up your hips in a different way. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave it and let it hang there for another 5 or 6 seconds. Let that hip open. And then when I feel like I'm ready, I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to reach them through and try to grab behind that knee and just gently pull it in. If you can lodge your elbow inside your knee, that might help a little. Give it a little pull in. But make sure you keep that 90 degree or more. You can straighten it if you want. Straighten it makes it easier to pull it back. All the way in if you want. Elbow inside your knee. Hold it there for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Stay there and rock all the way forwards. Stay there, rock all the way forwards, and just finish this thing off. Just sit nice and tall. Use your hands behind for support, and just let that knee, let it go all the way to the floor. Do nothing. Just push your chest forwards and allow gravity to just let it loosen up. And it'll help get a little more mobility into that hip socket. Hold it for 3, for 2, and 1. Release. Shake it out. Lay down. Left foot on top. Lay there. Do nothing. Just let gravity do its stuff. Don't try and force it. It will just happen. You'll feel it. You'll feel this hip loosen. And then you'll feel that knee just gently sagging towards the ground. All on its own. It's heavy enough to get there, I promise you. Take another 3 or 4 seconds. Then when you feel like you're ready, reach your hands through, pull it, straighten that leg if you want, keep it bent if you want, just don't let it sag like this. So it's either at 90 degrees or it's straight in the air, whatever you want, pull it in, you're forcing it just a touch, elbow inside your knee if you can get there. Hold it for 5, hold it for 3, 2, 1, stay there, rock into a seated position, push your hands, get your chest nice and straight, your back nice and straight, and don't do anything. I can feel that I'm not as flexible on that side today. I can feel it. This knee is definitely higher. Gravity is going to do the thing for me. I'm just going to let it happen. Do nothing. Do nothing. And I'll leave it there for 5, for 4, for 3. Alice looks like she's meditating. And release.
I need a nap.
Shake it out, bring the soles of your feet together. Same thing. Most people want to pull themselves forward. I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to put my hands behind, straighten out my back, sit nice and tall. And then you should really feel it in those hips. Really feel it in your hips. Hold it there for 3. Hold it there for 2. Hold it there for 1. And then release, shake everything out. And then come on to all fours. Push back a little. So kind of point your toes out and your heels in. So toes out, heels in, and then just walk backwards so that your elbows and your knees kind of meet. And I'm kind of resting my knees on top. If you look at me, I'm off the floor on the back. My heels are up, heels are in, toes are out, elbows inside. And then all I'm going to do is let myself like press down. I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to like...
Oh,
you still got it. So if you can get there, great. That's where you'll get there eventually. If not, just let everything go.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
Used to be another one.
I'll just pull on my face.
I won't try. I'll do it off camera, and actually maybe I'll do it on camera. So if you can get forwards, just as far as you can. Even if you get up onto your toes, if you can hold it there, even better. And then come back out of it. Stay nice and wide. Stand up as slowly as you can. Shake everything out. Interlace your fingers kind of like you're making a little gun. And then just make a rotation. Heels stay down. Rotate as far as you can. Hold it. 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. Come back to center. Rotate as far as you can. Hold it for 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. Do 2 more on each side. Boom. Hold it. Breathe. Keep breathing all the way through. Come back to center. Go again. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Once people feel tension, they start to hold their breath. Don't do that. Do the exact opposite. 1 more each side. Come back to center. Rotate. Really push it as far as you think you can, keeping them in the middle of your chest. Hold it. Breathe. Come back to center. 1 more time. As far as you can. Hold it and breathe. Come back to center. Open them. Close them. Open them. Close. Open. Close. Mobility day is done. We are on the home straight. 30X crew who are on whatever day we're on today, 25. We're at it now. We are on it. It's now a race. It's a sprint all the way to the finish. You ain't leaving us now. We'll see you tomorrow. Full body.